Today is going to be a real treat. This is a delight. I'm very excited. This is episode 3 in running the Wasatch 100, and I'm just delighted to have our special guest today, Mr. Craig Lloyd, the one and only Craig Lloyd of Trail and Ultra. You can find him at Trail and Ultra Running. Hi.
Hi, Scott.
How are you?
I'm super good.
Good. Are you cold?
No.
Oh, good.
Quite toasty
It
now.
is very cold out here.
It is.
So, Craig is a Wasatch veteran.
3 times.
He's done a just over
Where are you going?
just over 24-hour,
Yes.
barely.
24 and a half.
He's done a 25 and change
Correct.
and a 28.
Correct.
Craig, first question right out of the gate. When you ran Wasatch, your first time, do you remember your first time?
Very well.
Okay. What is something that you totally nailed with the race?
Yeah, truthfully, I would say my pacing for the whole first half was spot on. Like, I did not go out too fast, put it in cruise, and just like everything about the first half of the race was perfect pacing.
Next question. What's something you did not do very well?
So the second time I ran it was one of the top 3 hottest years on record, and I left Big Mountain Pass a little dehydrated and not carrying nearly enough water. And it got so bad when I ran out of water about a mile and a half from Alexander Flat, I thought I was gonna have them send a rescue team.
Yeah.
Because of that, I ended up having to sit at Alexander Flat for 45 minutes to recover.
Yeah, that year was horrendous.
Yeah.
The topic for today is running through the night. So strategies for running through the night.
Yep.
And really what your strategy is going in, and then also maybe your things that will be helpful for you running through the night. So Craig,
Yeah.
you've run a plethora of 100 milers, including Wasatch.
Yeah.
What are some recommendations that you would give for someone that's new training for Wasatch to run through the night successfully?
Yeah. I mean, that's a really easy one. Get tons of practice. Like, really get out, do night runs. They don't have to be all night long, but get used to starting a run at 10 p.m. and finishing at 2 a.m. Or, waking up and starting a run at 3 a.m. Like, there's literally nothing you can do that will help more than that. A lot of people think that sleepiness, drowsiness is caused by simply the lack of sleep. It's not necessarily true. Like, when you get drowsy and sleepy late in the middle of the night, likely because you need calories. Not always caffeine, calories. Start eating. Eat regularly. Keep that energy up in your body. You won't get nearly as tired.
I think, Craig, that was really a good point there, because I found for myself, I do get very sleepy in the night, and I'm not very good at going through the night, but I tend to also dial my calories back.
Yeah.
Not on purpose, but more so just because my brain gets a little foggy and I start to forget. So I end up not eating, but I think that's so true. If you're not getting the calories, you will get more sleepy and tired.
Yep.
I think one of the more helpful things for me has been to keep moving in the night. It's really important that you don't go to an aid station. If you're gonna sit down, especially if it's cold, it's really hard to get up.
Yeah.
So it's your responsibility to tell your pacers you've got to keep moving. And pacers have you keep moving through the aid stations. I can tell, or going back to Wasatches and hundreds, if I sit down when I'm fatigued, it's so hard to get up.
Well, add on top of that, this idea of like, I have a hard and fast rule. No fires.
Okay, yeah,
Do
for
not
sure.
sit by a fire unless you're like legit hypothermic. Like, if you're chilly or cold, move faster. Fire just means you're gonna stay longer and maybe run the risk of not getting up at all.
Yeah,
So
that's
my personal rule is no fires.
yeah, that's the big risk, is that when you sit down and you start to get comfortable and you're super tired, you're more likely to DNF. So
Yeah.
keep moving.
It's Wasatch. I mean, other than maybe like the last 3 or 4 hours of darkness, it's not cold. It's very rarely cold in the middle of the night at Wasatch until you get down into Pot Hollow and those lower elevation sink areas. It's not
Somebody who has actually spent over 3.5 hours at Brighton one year. Do not linger at Brighton. That's going to be something, you're gonna have friends there, people you know, it's gonna be nice and warm. You're going to want to linger there. Do not. Craig?
Yeah, I mean, the time you spend at aid stations can literally make the difference between hitting your goal time or not. So,
Or finishing.
yeah, or even finishing altogether.
I've tried to talk myself into into DNFing at Brighton.
Yeah, so here's one of my favorite things about Scott and how he runs Wasatch. Your races are very planned, specifically looking at what split times are between aid stations. And if there's one thing Scott does really well, it's coming in ahead of those split times, especially early on in the night. And so, you know, Wasatch 100 does a great job of providing average split times through those aid stations based on what your goal finishing time is. And if you know what those split times are, you can really set targets between aid stations that are more aggressive than that, which will allow you to pad in case you run into some issues. And so those can be really helpful.
Another piece of advice that I would give for running through the night and seeing how you do, I think mixing in a training run where you do a long training run, but you also go through the night.
Yeah.
And that way you can see how your body's gonna feel, how caffeine is working for you, how your energy is, to see what where you might need to make adjustments.
I think we had done multiple marathons through the night.
Yeah. Yeah,
And that
before.
is very useful.
So that's the end of the of episode number 3 of our serious series, running the Wasatch 100.
There's nothing serious about it.
No, Just show up, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Craig's old mantra.
That's right.
You'll be fine.
Yeah, just keep moving forward. You'll be fine.
Yep. Keep moving forward.